Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome from our side to today's webinar about new features and best practices in Release 8. My name is Christian Glanschroth, CTO, and together with my colleague Christopher Burry, we will be the host of this webinar. Before we start, we'd like to mention that you can ask questions during the webinar. Please use the questions box to raise questions and we will answer them right away in our Q&A session after the presentation. Also, we will record this webinar and provide a link to the recording afterwards. Alright, let's get started. This webinar will cover the highlights of Release 8 as well as best practices starting with the installation and upgrades, workflow archiving, workflow designer best practices, and new community content. Let's start with the Release 8 highlight video.
Simplifier mobile client is redesigned based on customer feedback. The app list is not split over several tabs anymore. Update and download status are displayed in the same view, which enhances usability. Apps can be deleted by swiping left on an app entry. Furthermore, there is now a task inbox that shows all tasks that are assigned to the user from workflows. Also, the new user menu provides quick access to status info and settings. For developers, the preview and automatic testing are now placed in a separate developer tab. Apps that include tests can be executed from the Test tab. We're excited to introduce a new feature in the Launchpad and the mobile client, the Task Inbox. With this new feature, you can manage your workflow tasks directly from your browser or mobile device, ensuring that you never miss an important task or deadline. The new Workflow Designer enables especially business user and citizen developer to create and digitize their own business process without special skills and avoids long BPMN trainings. Simplifier brings easy, understandable but powerful workflow activities like user tasks, integration data via automation task, and notifications even on mobile devices. We're excited to introduce our new Workflow Monitor, which gives you a comprehensive overview of your workflows. With this powerful tool, you can easily see which workflows are currently running, have finished, or running in an error. In addition, if you have additional administration rights, you can skip the current step, stop the complete workflow instance, resume the complete workflow, or even terminate a workflow that is configured incorrectly. Release 8 brings the first version of our modular core. Modularization enables scalability by allowing Simplifier customers to add or remove modules as needed and scale single services by their needs. Before we hand only one container, with Release 7 Enhancement Package 1 we introduced the new Launchpad. Now with Release 8 we add 2 more containers for workflow design and runtime. For optimized app builder experience, all containers should be exists on every runtime, development, testing, and productive.
So let's cover the installation and setup process of the new Simplifier version 8. Simplifier goes modular. That means we have renamed the container Simplifier/runtime to just Simplifier. In addition, we now have 3 new containers. The Launchpad container released in version 7 Enhancement Package 1 and 2 new workflow containers for design and runtime. Each instance of Release 8 should be set up with all 4 containers. Furthermore, you can scale each container regarding your requirements and user load. The sizing starts with the workflow runtime with at least 1 GB of memory. Workflow design time, also 1 GB of memory. The Simplifier core itself with 16 GB of memory. The Simplifier plugins at the maximum of 6 GB. And the Launchpad container with a half of gigabyte. And you have to consider that you have at least reserved 6 GB of memory for the underlying operating system. For more information, please visit the server requirements page in our documentation. For existing customers, the upgrade path is more important. So let's dive into the upgrade process for Release 8. If you do the upgrade on an on-premise environment, you have to consider that we won't support Oracle for the workflow run and design time anymore. But Simplifier itself, without these services, runs with Oracle database as before. As you also have to check the default settings for workflow archiving as well, as you need to refresh your license and import the latest standard content from version 8. You will find the standard content on our community marketplace. Another important topic for Release 8 are permissions, as there have been some changes to the overall permission concept. The new workflow permission objects are split in 3 scopes. You can use the global roles for monitoring, execution, and administration of workflows. For building new workflows, you need the create, view, and project assign permission, assigned by project role, and last but not least, you need a business role for starting the workflow within an app or API call. We adjusted the project default roles and the SF administrator global role and added the new workflow permissions automatically. But please make sure that either the default project roles assigned to the user or user group. In case you have existing individual project roles, please add the new workflow permissions manually.
With the new workflow engine, we introduced automated tasks to integrate with existing systems through connectors or business objects. This works as expected, but for security reasons, there's an important limitation when using connectors or business objects within automated tasks. So when you start modeling your workflows with Release 8, you need to take into account that when using connectors or business objects that include connectors and automated tasks, there will be no single sign-on login methods supported. This is due to security reasons because the workflow engine is running as a system-managed identity and by that cannot use single sign-on login methods. As always, we have new exciting community and content updates. With Release 8, we offer a new dedicated workflow course in the basic level. As you can see in the agenda, the course covers building an app with a custom request form, creating, testing, and monitoring a workflow. You will find the new course on the new course overview in Simplifier community. So if you want to learn how to build workflows, this course has got you covered. Furthermore, we provide a new wizard to create forms in a very simple and intuitive manner. These forms can be used within apps and also to quickly create forms for custom workflow modules. In addition to the new workflow engine, we have prepared 2 workflow templates that will be available on the marketplace. First up, a workflow template that covers a vacation request process. Users can submit a vacation request that managers can approve afterwards. The user interface for submitting requests is represented by a calendar, where the user can see all his vacation requests with approval status. If you want to learn more about this workflow template, you can download it from the marketplace and look into it yourself. The second workflow template is about idea management. This means your employees can submit ideas for all kinds of improvements within your company. All submitted ideas can be approved and rewarded by a manager. Last but not least, we have updated the standard content for Release 8, including a new form wizard, a new standard workflow module, new standard business objects, and templates for email and push notifications used within user tasks. We have now come to the end of today's presentation and would like to thank you for your attention. We will now start our Q&A session and are looking forward to your questions. Please type them in the questions box and we will do our best to answer them right away. Until next time, stay calm and simplify.